You're probably here for, is this camera, right? The question is this new camera system on the 12 Pro Max worth like spending the extra money and getting it over the 12 or the 12 Pro? Of any iPhone box. But also now, interestingly, in the past, iPhones have all just typically been the same thing across the board, but different sizes. Maybe an extra camera in the Pro. This year, there's an entirely new, different special camera system in just the Pro Max. That's not in any of the other new iPhones. So naturally, this was the focus of my testing. That's a pun. So I think all the other benefits of a bigger iPhone sort of speak for themselves, right? The display is a slightly higher resolution, and it's of course now a 6.7-inch screen instead of the 6.5-inch from last year's Max. So this is the biggest canvas of a screen Apple's ever put in a phone. I would have really, really liked for them to make it high refresh rate, but again, in the reviews, I talked about why it's not there, most likely battery, but in every other metric, this is a top-of-the-line, excellent smartphone display. But also, speaking of battery, the iPhone 12 Pro Max does have the biggest battery in any of the new iPhones, and yes, it does last noticeably longer. First of all, it has an incredible standby time, and I've typically ended days with it around 25% with 6, maybe 7 hours of screen on time sometimes. So if you're looking for the iPhone with the best battery, this is definitely it. It's comparable to the 11 Pro Max. I would say maybe just a tiny bit less. Then also the biggest iPhone does technically also get the biggest speaker. If you look at the bottom of all these phones, the 12 Pro Max has a bigger grill than the others, but honestly, it's not a noticeably louder speaker at all. Really, I just found it has slightly bassier sound at the highest volume. That's about it.
Makakakita nyo ng business proposal, pwede rin po kayo mag-comment sa amin para mai-promote po natin. Pwede po natin pag-usapan on website. Mag-PM na lang po.
You're probably here for, is this camera, right? The question is this new camera system on the 12 Pro Max worth like spending the extra money and getting it over the 12 or the 12 Pro?
Hello guys, kumusta kayo dyan? Dito po tayo ngayon. Pag-uusapan po natin.
Creator, if you're a pro. No. So first of all, okay, I just want to point out, it really is a physically larger camera module. Like the rounded circle that the cameras live on is bigger, and the camera rings and lenses themselves are all also bigger. And that's to house the new hardware inside, namely the 47% larger main camera sensor that now has sensor shift stabilization instead of lens-based stabilization. And there's also a new 2.5x telephoto lens. So that's huge in this low light and in regular light. It really speaks to, I guess, how good the computational photography in iPhones has gotten over the years, more than anything bad about the Pro Max phone. By the way, it also doesn't fix any of the haloing, sort of glowing orbs you see in nighttime videography. They still show up pretty much anytime there's a point light in the scene in low light video, something I noticed when I first started testing the 12s. So, all right, the main camera, I've tested it. It's physically different, yes, but the results are very difficult to see any differences with. I'm glad I tested it.